of they have turned off ads. It's like I had it
You really
part
dislike
before.
ads.
Oh, by the way, welcome. This is part
Welcome,
two of
Qbhall.
Mori, episode 18. Due to some copyright difficulties, we had to restart again. So that's always great.
Yeah, we were in that
Thrown out of the
situation.
air by our overlords, the bots. The safeguards got us. Yeah, safeguards. YouTube safeguards got us.
Yeah, and it's weird because is available on YouTube. So I guess I,
I guess.
But the
I don't
fact
know.
that the software in on YouTube is really advanced if they can spot that we are um, streaming copyrighted content live.
Yeah.
I mean, this is something Twitch doesn't have, as far as I'm concerned. You can't
so
even. No, you can't.
you could
For now, at least, I don't know if they will ever implement
ah
something in the future. But on YouTube, you can do this kind of shit that you can do on Twitch, apparently.
I guess
Whatever.
YouTube is still more powerful. I guess.
YouTube
Yeah.
is smarter, is more advanced, apparently. Can spot immediately if something is wrong. Maybe because they are also encoding the live stream in real time, probably, for everyone to watch. Even if
Uh,
they are late, if they don't watch it live, they watch the VOD, they record as at the same time as we stream, and while they record, they probably spot the copyrighted material, and they block us on the spot. That
I
is
think
my
it
theory. Mm.
what I think happens is they somebody passing here again. But yeah, the
Oh well. I mean, in any case, I looked up and the episode is still up on my channel, so I can just put this as a part two and the other one as a part one.
Yeah, you can
And
just, I don't
it's not
know,
on.
cut the final part with the copyrighted infringement section, which is basically useless. And if
Yeah.
you, and we can continue with this.
oh, but yeah, we were talking about to your eternity, and I said I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
looking at the manga. Now I'm not sure how far the anime reach if they'll ever get as far as that.
I mean,
Uh,
I'm not. I'm like I watched the first season and I haven't continued to watch anything. Like I've, as far as seasonal anime, I am out of the game. I have been out of the game for a couple of years. But as far as I know, there is a second season. I don't know if it already came out or yeah, they needed to release it. But I mean, if they continue to adapt the manga, uh, they will maybe catch up to it, and it's going to
yeah,
be a valid alternative.
I was wondering if they would be able to, just with the scale of how stuff gets,
Mm.
because
But
when it started, I had no idea it was gonna get to all of that. It was. I mean, is really huge. Where it's gotten to, So I really wondering that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hmm. Hmm. Well, in any case, I found Gunhead, the movie was talking about it, at the same like as Dragon's Heaven, what was talking about earlier.
yeah, the movie that got us flagged for copyright.
Yeah, basically. And it's like also from this one, 1989. It's like a year later than Dragon's Heaven. It's like you also see, yeah, here's the Blu-ray I was talking about. And this is like just these huge machines, war machines that just plow around in this huge mech structure, which the backgrounds for the structure were near inspired to get the rest of the mech structure, basically. So it's also really interesting detail. It's like it's the whole thing is on YouTube, so and on our Yeah, and on archive.org, so you can just watch the whole thing there. It's pretty interesting, in my opinion, for all the models that they tried, and also some of the effects is also pretty fun. Apparently, there was
Ah,
also a manga of it. Hmm.
this is why. Okay, this is the So you're saying this is what inspired Blam?
Well, the mecha structure was like more of a reference for the mecha structure, basically.
Ah, okay. All right, that's interesting. I don't really
If you
think of
see the movie, then you get what I mean, basically. Like, stuff like this, for instance, like these huge structures and just in dark and whatnot.
is is interesting that I don't I know like there I know there are Japanese live action films, but I don't always think about them as a like I probably should. Like I would have never imagined something like this being made there. Uh, because this looked like it had a huge budget, relatively.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of model making, obviously, and just some sets, and obviously the thing is, I mean, they still had the bubble economy still somewhere going up, so it still could be done. Yeah, this kind of stuff, I mean, this is really mech structure as opposed on Reddit from the subreddit.
Yeah, I almost afraid to have you go on websites and look at stuff now. Next thing you know, they block the stream again. Oh, we copyrighted
Not for this kind of stuff.
screenshots.
This is just a post on Reddit, or else we would have been thrown out of the air before when we stream stuff. That would have happened before. It was just that one that the video that was completely copyrighted. It's just screenshots. That's not that difficult. I mean, how would you know it was from Gunnet? Nobody would have known that. It's just some screenshots, and yeah, bots don't know that. They don't care about that stuff.
I looking at the timeline here. Okay, Aliens. The second one was made in '86. So
Hmm.
you know, and this was made in '89. Okay.
Yeah.
I know they were making these kind of huge budget uh, practical effects shows at that time, and Blade Runner was '82.
Hmm. Yeah, they made a lot of these back in the day. I mean, even Thunderbirds made a lot of it, obviously, for all their shows. So there's like a precursor to that because that was the 60s. They also had a lot of miniature sets that they would use as background material or whatnot. Or you have these huge machines going on.
Damn. And it's not like I always imagine, like you guys know about Stalker, right? I think we talked about it
Yeah,
before.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
So like there is literally just a big wasteland there in real life that we could go to and make any science fiction thing that we want. Or we might all
Yeah,
be
yeah,
poisoned to
yeah.
death though, but
I mean, probably do some research if the site is not radioactive, like in Stalker, because the place that they went to was heavily radioactive, and so the first print of the movie was had this green tint over it that was completely erased, and then people later got sick of the place. Literally, had almost all the characters got cancer and what other diseases, and probably from the set that they were mostly on in that factory that was heavily polluted.
yeah, I mean it's crazy. It's like I mean, is that like extreme method acting? Yeah, we actually gonna be poisoned to death by the same thing the people in the world of the show would be poisoned by. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, it's really
but
meta if you think about it.
yeah, I never read the book though, but I read about the concept. The idea of the aliens uh um just the junk of the aliens is like amazing to us,
Mm.
because that's kind of what it was like in the book, right?
Yeah,
Roadside
I haven't
Picnic.
read the book, but I mean, I've seen videos about Stalker, and then yeah, then you can get that.
And it is interesting
I
that,
mean the
that it,
game Stalker, not the actual movie, but I also watched the movie.
oh, well, I actually I'm a big fan of the game. It's interesting that like so many of these kind of themes were things that at the time I didn't know they were related, So many things that
Mm,
kind of came together, and only after when I get to be online more, because I had like Mobius independently of liking Panzer Dragoon. It was
mm.
only years later that I realized that they were related in some way. You know?
Yeah, yeah, it was loosely based on it, like with the whole place, these entities walking around, getting your wish, etc., etc., etc. It was just like you know, and I guess the new Stalker, Stalker 2, is really popular nowadays.
Oh yeah,
It's really taken off.
I don't know what that's gonna require. That I mean, it's looking very heavy to run. It might take.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not for your average computers, no. Won't be for my
It,
computer either. Maybe for the Steam Deck, but yeah, who knows?
yeah, maybe Steam Deck 30 FPS. You know,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
and it makes it 720p, right? The Steam Deck is 720p anyway. I mean, the screen is small, so
yeah,
it's not a
yeah. I
problem.
mean, yeah, 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 yeah. About that, maybe 1080, maybe 10p. You're really lucky. Maybe the high-end model would be standard 1080p, I guess. Yeah, yeah, pretty. Yeah, I think the high-end model would be that, and then the lowest would be like I don't know, 720p standard or something in the range of that. I don't know.
Oh yeah, and
Hmm.
I reading about Stalker guy, Stalker filmmaker. Eh, So him and his wife and actor all died from the exact same type of lung cancer.
Mm.
So they convinced that it was the film being around the film.
Yeah, yeah, being around the factory all day, every day,
Uh,
and to have it shot the whole thing again because of the green tint of the first print,
So
basically.
what I want to know is did they get the film back? See this green tint.
Well,
Nobody
yeah, this
was
other
green. Nobody.
movie, green
But
tinted, but
did they know why it was green though? Did they know why it was tint? Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, we just around powerful radioactive rays all the time.
yeah, no problem. We can
Yeah.
survive this.
Just shoot it back. And not only we going back in the same place to shoot it, right? The next thing. Once wasn't enough,
Nah, nah.
you
Everything for
know?
the arts. Everything for the arts. Gotta make my movie. Gotta have my vision of my movie. Healthy. Being healthy. Having cancer. Yeah, it's fine. We'll see. Like in 20 years or something. Well, we all die horrible deaths from it. Yeah, who cares? As long as the
Uh,
movie's doing good, and the movie was good, so you
well,
get something out of it.
I reading I reading that they say that how well I hearing because I've read that thing before about the radioactivity, but on Wiki I seen that they say that they were unfamiliar with the type of film and they had problems developing it. But I don't know if I mean there's so much that's unknown. I'm wondering if um you know oh, and there's actually a documentary about Stalker about the making
Hmm.
of it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Right now.
yeah, yeah. I mean, was there? Think there was. Not sure. I mean, I know a few YouTube videos that go over the whole thing basically and how they got it all made, but I don't know. Really? I mean, the last making of that I've seen was for on the Silver Globe. That was crazy to watch. That was actually pretty good. Just a crazy story of like the maker trying to make the movie and how it got banned, and then he got it back, and then getting all the costumes and footage back, and etc. etc. Just a whole conundrum to get it all working again. Pretty interesting.
Oh, this is also a Tarkovsky show. Or,
No, it's wait. On the
um,
Silver
oh,
Globe. No, it's made in
Zulan.
Poland. On
Okay.
Silver.
Man, they made a lot of crazy shows there. That is
Yeah, they made a lot of fucking crazy movies. Basically, what this movie is about: a few people came from Earth, landed on a planet, and made their own civilization. Basically, and you get these weird cults going on, and yeah, for the half of the time for the dialogue, you have no fucking clue what they're really going on about because it's just like real philosophical and real, goes somewhere. And it's like, and also parts of the movie are told by the director when he's riding on a motorcycle because they were banned by the regime back then in Poland. So that was a whole hassle. Then it was got ended in the 80s eventually, and then a few years back, it got on Blu-ray because the negatives were in pretty bad shape, so they had to restore the whole thing again. And it's like a crazy production. Basically, it's an interesting movie to watch, but it's like it's it's not a it's yeah it's a weird movie. It also takes a long time to get through to it, but
yeah.
man,
I
something
don't think
alright.
nothing normal ever comes out of that place. Nothing.
No,
Nothing.
Always weird stuff in this.
Yeah.
oh, it's weird shit. Yeah, supposedly that was supposed to be the first big sci-fi movie before Star Wars, but thanks to being banned, Star Wars got it. But I don't think they would be ever be really big in their home country or anywhere else for that matter. It's just so on the ground, so niche, so difficult to explain. That Star Wars would still have won because that's really got them easy. So it's but still great screening. I mean, I watched it in the cinema. It was also a great experience, but man, it took long to get through. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Thing
if you
is,
have the chance, it's on YouTube, I think. You can watch
yeah.
it on there, some other site. It's pretty good.
All right. And these guys was a lot of the stuff was probably done for real and probably things that would. I mean, we have no regulations here. If a guy want to jump off a building, he could do it.
Oh yeah,
Right?
I mean,
Oh,
they even crucified a guy, and for the special effects for the hands and the feet, well, they couldn't really find any good special props for that, so they just use real hands and foot to nail down, and they got it from some university to a studying material was that from a
well, that,
university material, so they
you know
just
that
trust out that. The whole
that guy's
works all.
dead. He not using no more. You know.
No, now he's not used. Now he's no more. But it's like that's how far they go for the art. So to get
You
it
know.
done and to really get the reality out of it.
You know what? That is something they probably would never allow in America. So in this
No,
particular
no,
instance,
no, no, no,
they
no.
have a lot more. They have freedom. They have that is a freedom they wouldn't have in America. No, we can't just use like some dead guy hand and just uh. But you know
Yeah,
that is an interesting story. That is
yeah. And they got
I'm
really
surprised
censored
that
for the
I would
regime.
keep it a secret forever. I would have never seen any. Oh yeah, that is how good the special effects guy was. We'll never reveal how it was done. You know.
Yeah. In the documentary, eventually they revealed it, and also saw that after the screening, like a few days later. And he also
Jesus.
told that they went into a old salt mine, like 4 kilometers down to the so they had to climb down for a few days to film there with a huge group, and they had to go all out on their acting and their agony and whatnot, and like man, so they basically in the beginning of the movie, they really everybody was just living the movie basically because their own reality was well pretty shit because it was a regime and nobody wanted to live in the country anymore. So they really want to live the movie. But as time got on and the director got more impossible and more impossible, they hated it to be on set and they hated behind to do this thing again. So yeah, yeah, It's an interesting movie, but with a lot of shit going on to get it done. But yeah,
Uh, I'm surprised they oh man, somebody doing some crazy thing outside.
uh,
Yes.
it's never normal there either, huh?
No, no, it's always the entire country is always under construction. The whole place, you know.
Hmm.
Also destruction, you know. So it's like, yeah, it's just
The
I mean
mega
it is
structure.
third world. It is it's literally the developing world, you know. It being developed as we walk through it.
Shit.
You know, yeah. Always some you know, they haven't mastered running water yet though. You know.
Mm.
That has evaded them, you know. I mean, I always say, didn't the ancient like Greeks and Romans and shit have like aqueducts all over the place?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're telling me this country in this year can't do it? How is this possible? You know?
No, that's
Yeah,
pretty. Yeah, I mean,
pe-
hell, they even in Roman times they even had warmed floors, for instance. They just put water, a huge water system, and just stoke that up, and just your floor got heated that way. So like they were way before their time, and when they left, you got the Dark Middle Ages, and I guess we're talking the Dark Middle Ages again for
yeah.
some
So
kind.
we so
Sucks.
we basically still trying to keep up here. You know, we haven't even caught up to those people yet. You know, from
Yeah.
ancient times. You know.
Fuck.
Yeah, sure. It's like I don't know. Maybe we need to be colonized again.
Maybe I colonize you again, or I don't know.
We
We'll
will
colonize
both
you.
colonize
Hey,
you.
look, you can't do any worse. I'll say that. You know, can't do any worse
Fuck.
than these guys. You know, it's like, yeah. I mean, I think I mentioned we've been independent since 1962. So you can't blame whatever was being kept back then. They could no longer blame them, right? Because that is enough time has passed. You know, more
Yeah.
than 60 years. So is that right? Yeah. You know.
Kind of.
So
Yeah. I know what you mean.
you know, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, that is why I gravitate towards these dystopian, you know, worlds. Is, is
Yeah. I get what you
oh well,
mean.
like yeah, for me, dystopian fiction is like a slice of life. You know, for me, that is that is how it is. Oh,
Hmm.
I don't know if you've heard of this game, Eastward. I think I mentioned it.
Eastwood. Hmm.
Eastward, like going towards the east, eastward.
Oh.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm not sure.
that is definitely an interesting one too because is is super detailed but pixel art. Uh, so dystopian pixel art, you know, is really uh is really like nothing else I've seen.
Hmm. No, well. I mean, for manga, I read a while back something called Tank Chair. Just basically a guy that's brain dead or half brain dead. And the only thing that gets him going again is the intent to kill. So you literally have to put a gun to his head, pull the trigger, is a blank, and then he gets up again. And basically, the whole guy is just a killing machine in a wheelchair. He just murders anything that's in front of him. Basically, just he has this, and basically he has this little sister that tries to get him back on his feet, and then he has to give him enough of that killing intention to get him back on his feet, basically. Because he was
So
before that like a world-renowned hitman or something like that. It's a wild story. Like something like I don't know, bit Doro craziness and a bit of biomech. It's just a guy on his bike and just murdering anything on the craziest thing possible. It's a fun work though. Till now.
but now hold on, he's not brain dead. He aware of what's going on.
Well, yeah, maybe half brain dead. Like basically if he doesn't have that killing instinct, he's basically just a vegetable in a chair, and he doesn't really do much or anything for that. And the only thing that really triggers anything in his mind is the intent to kill. So it's just probably about, not completely brain dead, but that's the only thing that really starts him up again, basically. Like when you pull Chainsaw Man's pull cord from his chest, and then he gets it
Oh,
back
okay.
up again. Basically,
So,
something like that. In a
so
way.
that isn't. So they're just going to continue to combine people with objects and make new. So there's Chainsaw Man, now there's Tank
Well,
Chair. Oh no, it's not even Tank Chair Man. It's just Tank Chair. You know.
yeah, it's a tank chair. So well, the
Right.
guy is not literally fused to the chair, but he can just go get in the chair and then
Yeah,
just
no,
especially made for him, and then he gets killing. And
I know.
man, it gets brutal.
Yeah, I'm not complaining though. It's like it's just interesting.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like that
yeah.
there's I don't know if you look at this. There's like the kind of warning line symbols all over the chair. The kind of red and black yellow and black lines to show caution.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah,
It's
yeah. It's also
safety
small.
first, right? Safety first. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Safety first. Yeah, when you're dead, and then you have safety first. Yeah,
Oh, that is
yeah, yeah.
interesting.
There's stuff in here, like it's just I don't know. It's like Dorado craziness mixed with like a bit of biomecha somewhere there. I don't know.
All right.
It's
I
something.
mean, we never run out of things to look at or read, or we could say that. Some parts of the future suck, but at least we could see anything at any time. And that is,
Oh yeah.
that, you
Yeah,
know.
read anything, watch anything, whatever we want, basically. Especially now. I
Um.
mean,
You remember in real life there was a story of a guy who he had some mental problems that we say, and he fortified a real life what was it? Was it a bulldozer? Because it was the killdozer guy.
oh, Bulldozer
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, yeah. You just got completely uh yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. He basically modified a bulldozer by just completely put it in armor so they can't get to him, and it just would ram through the local parliament there or something like that. Yeah, it's like some kind of problem with them. And
Yeah.
eventually, and it just went on for a day. They even had to, they had to get in a tank to get the thing to stop. And then eventually they got but when Buddy he already already offed himself, so they couldn't get him anymore. But it was also crazy, yeah. What was it again? Tank what was it again? Hmm. Bulldozer guy or something like that? Wait, let me look up.
You could look up killdozer.
Oh, Killers,
But
yeah, that's it.
yeah. But yeah, like a lot of it seemed like a lot of the stuff that led him to the point was out of his control. Out of his um yeah, like I'm seeing he bought some land, and then it had some zoning problems with the previous, they had inadequate sewage or something like that, and a lot of bureaucracy it seemed. So
Mm.
he um yeah, a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of people kind of I mean, I'm not saying he should have do what he did. I ain't saying that. I don't want to make this show controversial. But
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
I know what you mean.
you
Yeah,
know,
I
a
mean,
lot of a lot of people kind of he's kind of like a folk hero to some people.
yeah,
In,
yeah,
in a
yeah,
way,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's
because
true.
there's a lot of interesting people that kind of went crazy, but kind of the system was against them and was screwing them. You ever heard of this guy who flew a plane? He flew his own plane, his tiny plane, into I think the IRS building.
I remember something
Yeah,
like somebody stole a plane and just made a barrel roll with the plane with somebody, and he
Sky
never
King.
flew a plane. He never. and
Sky King,
Romeo
remember?
do that or something like that.
Sky King is what I call him. That guy.
Oh, Sky King. Yeah, that could be
Yeah.
him. I think we're talking about the same guy. And then he crashed his plane in some woods just to get on his just to go out on his own terms without injuring
Oh man,
anybody. You just want to have a joyride on the thing, basically.
it's crazy. But this is another guy though. There was a guy. I think the IRS had given him some problems. Um, and yeah, just look up IRS. You know, plane flies into IRS building.
IRS. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
No.
I
No.
mean, you know how people uh they love the IRS. Um,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, the IRS. Yeah, Ireland. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I get it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay. Oh well. I mean, hell, even the inside of Killdozer, it's even on guns just to get people off the thing. Fuck. What would you do with the scope? You even can look through it. I don't know. Just an
Uh,
idea,
he
I guess.
he probably doesn't want to take it off. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh well, we can
Oh
escalate
wait,
more.
he couldn't put it sideways. Maybe he was putting it holding it sideways. It's just stuck there.
Yeah, yeah. I guess he just mounted it there just in case somebody tries to get close and just could shoot or something like that. I don't know. It was just a bit, there's some bits it was just thrown together and just hoping it would work. It would, and he didn't have
Hey,
the
look, he clearly put
plan.
a lot of thought into it though because they couldn't
Yeah,
get
I
to it.
mean, yeah, in the
You
overall
know?
design, yeah, and I guess it has some flaws for like visibility and just guns for something like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, if you think about it, like a bulldozer is already heavily armored just because of the job it does. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So maybe all
really
you need to do is
overboard a little
to
bit.
yeah, because you're driving through friggin' buildings and mashing it up and everything. You know, it's crazy. But so all you need to
Mm.
do is to prevent people from shooting him. You know. So you think
Mm.
you think anybody saw him putting this together and just went their way? You know. Oh,
Yeah,
what
it's
you
just
doing? I
walking the
thought like
dog. It's like, oh, hey, what's he doing? Like,
home
that looks
home
weird. Yeah,
construction.
never mind.
Yeah. Home construction. You know. Hey, this is still America. Freedom. Okay. If I
Yeah,
wanna,
freedom. Yeah, I can build whatever I want. Killdozer. Yeah, fuck
you
yeah.
know. No, I want to know if this was his bulldozer. You know.
Yeah.
Was it his bulldozer or is like he's on a job and
Was it his bulldozer? I guess it was his bulldozer. I don't remember really. I mean, I can look up the wiki.
yeah, this
Wait,
is
yeah,
this is
there's a
interesting,
wiki
you
here.
know. From now on, we only look. This podcast is only going to be about people like this doing this kind of stuff,
Doing
you know.
crazy shit. Because I was sniped over YouTube. There was retribution.
Yeah, frig, frig them on it, you know.
I'm
I don't
gonna
know.
go in and kill those or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Wiki is gonna jam us up.
No, what you mean? It's a wiki. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, consider that there's entire channels whose sole purpose is to react to other videos on YouTube. How those guys don't get jam up, you know?
Yeah, yeah. They're more. Yeah, they're really goddamn lazy. Obviously. I mean, you get, but yeah, I mean, it's the same with PewDiePie. He reacts to games, and everybody back then was complaining about, or all his generations were complaining about. Oh no, he's lazy. He's reacting to games he can play himself. But I'm like, but with that, they're like, not everybody has the money to play the games or has the systems, so you can play the games. So you have guys like these that play them. But with videos, yeah, everybody can just play those. So they're just stupid as fuck. But hey, it was entertaining. It's like watching comedy for these games, obviously. So that's something going on.
Uh, a lot of these channels get popular just by being kind of the first on the scene, if that makes sense.
Mm.
Um, and like, yeah, I think there were like a lot of early channels that blew up, you know, like, I think Darkside Phil was probably one of the earlier guys. Uh,
Mm.
kind of, and I mean, like just by virtue of being first, you will have a lot of followers and you'll have a lot of momentum.
Mm.
That if they started, so imagine PewDiePie started the same channel today, would he be so big? Maybe not.
Nah.
He wouldn't even be able to be so big because the whole ecosystem is different now. It's just
Yeah, obviously with like games like Stalker, what was it? Slenderman or something, or like other games. Nobody was playing those, and he was the first to get really that going, and then other people got onto it, and then if you're the first with a trend, then you really get people going, obviously,
yeah.
especially if it's a popular trend.
I I think it's amazing that yeah, like that is something that I would never have imagined would have be popular. Looking at people play games, you know.
Yeah, no. I mean, if you have the games yourself, you can buy them. So it's like, why would you watch somebody? And that was obviously a niche that nobody really did. So I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. Oh, this guy is funny. Let's watch him. And it's just, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But hell, there's even like Jacksepticeye or Markiplier even still make horror video games for kids. They're still doing the same thing that they did 10 years ago. Fuck.
Yeah.
Even Happy Wheels have like 700 parts or something like that.
Yeah, basically, you never watched PewDiePie only for discovering new games you wanted to play, or maybe to someone that was the case maybe at the beginning, but then they started to follow for the character, basically for the persona.
Yeah, basically. I mean, he made
But
some Call of Duty videos, or like his
he
first
did
videos.
almost everything, or even weird indie games. But
Yeah, and
gaming as a whole on YouTube is not as popular as it used to be back in the day.
No.
I mean,
It's
try
only the
to
big
make a
YouTubers that do that.
successful channel about video games now. I mean, it's not impossible, but one has to ask to himself, is the work and all the effort that I need to put to create a channel, make it work, create a content, create good content? I don't know. It takes time, and also people has stopped to watch videos that are long. Like we are living the TikTok and YouTube Shorts era. As sad as it could
Mhm.
seem, but it is what it is. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Yeah,
I mean, newer generation maybe don't even know who PewDiePie is, like a 50-year-old guy.
no. Majority no has no clue,
A
or maybe from the
teenager.
news, but
I mean, yeah,
not
maybe
that.
they know him by name, but I mean, and this is going to become even worse in the future. Like the kids from 2000, no, from 10 years in the future will hardly know anything about PewDiePie, and
Yeah,
for many
but
reasons.
still, but still at the
We,
same time, people even in their 60s and 70s know about Pokemon. I mean, from the 90s, even if they haven't watched it, they still know that from like 30 years ago, stuff like that. So it's just like so big that was just like anybody and their mother knows about it. So even
yeah,
if that's long gone, that people still know about it in some way, shape, or form.
well, that is an immortal franchise.
Yeah, it's obviously way bigger than all PewDiePie ever.
It's something else, and also Nintendo
Whole
has every
industry.
reason to make it work even today, like it did 30 years ago or something. I don't know how long it has been since Pokemon first came out in
yeah.
Japan.
And from
Almost
what
30 years, I
they,
guess.
I don't think they wanted to make it at first. Like they couldn't see they didn't believe in the appeal. From what I
Mm.
understand, they didn't believe it would ever be successful.
I mean, I don't remember if it was thanks to the anime that it got popular or not. I know that it came out and it wasn't an hit at first, but then it sparked like, I don't know, nothing
So
before.
I think it came out at the right time too because I think it came out just before the Game Boy Color, and so or maybe
Yes,
But
slightly before.
right, so that because of the popularity of the refresh of the Game Boy, people got into it a lot more. You know, there was like here's this new game, you know, with this new console, you know. And you know the Game Boy was like a huge juggernaut at that time. I think it's probably still it may not be the most, but it's up there
It
because
came
it has
out
such
in
a
1996, guys, so it has been quite a lot of time.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, yeah. All
but
right, talking
I
about.
I remember it being popular before the anime though.
I mean,
It
yeah, the games were hugely popular.
yeah it was
Everybody was playing them back in the day.
because it wouldn't have gotten an anime if it wasn't popular. That is the next thing. It's not the other way, I think.
Do you still own your old Game Boy and Pokemon games?
Actually yeah, but I think the screen is screwed up on the Game Boy, but it still comes on though. I had to say, you know, it still comes on. I can still hear it, and it doesn't show too good though. But
Mm.
I have to ask, you know, will and that was like that is the original one. That was like the '89 one, and I got it.
The brick.
Yeah, and I got it second or third hand probably. So I got it in the '90s, late '90s probably. So that was
Mm.
a
It,
hardy system. You had to, you know.
it does work still. Probably maybe if you find a way to fix the screen or swap the screen with a new one,
Yeah, yeah,
you may be able to fix it.
yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. But maybe going back to horror stuff. Saw that they made an horror game of Five Nights at Freddy's after like years. That was like in development hell for like I don't know 7 years or something like that. That I hear. Apparently, it's popular. I mean, I don't know why make it now. It's like it's kind of late, obviously. It's they're still making this stuff even after all these years, and each game just gets you really need to up the game to get it even scary because the main game it's not scary at all anymore if you see footage of that.
Yeah, is and I don't understand. So the game has kind of like very basic mechanics, right? From what
Yeah,
I understand. So it's not quite exactly like a game that you might traditionally consider a game because you kind of
yeah,
just
it's like
flipping through
a
cameras, right? You flip,
game movie basically.
but the actual game itself, there's not a lot of gameplay in it, right? Because you're
I
just
mean,
swapping cameras.
basically, it's just you sitting in a room and watching these animatronics move about on your cameras, and then if they come close, you have to pull the doors, shut down the doors, so they don't get in and kill you, basically.
Right. So it's five by three
And
minutes, you know.
but it's on a battery, so anything can come in and tries to murder you. In
Okay,
short,
so how much is this security guard being paid? That is the real question.
how much what?
This is a security guard, right?
Yeah.
How much is this guy getting paid to do
Eh.
this?
I mean, he's not really. Yeah, I mean, he's literally on the job when he gets told that there's literally murderous machines walking about, and yeah, then he can't really do anything about it anymore. I mean, it's just a dumb game, basically. It is based, kind of loosely based on a real story from a big Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, it's basically based on a story from Chuck E. Cheese. That's a huge family restaurant chain. I mean, it has also that had these um,
Right,
animatronics
I know it, I know
playing
it.
about. And basically, what happened? A guy was fired from his job. Didn't really took it that lightly. Then he picked up a gun and just went to the restaurant and shot a few employees that had nothing to do with it, just to
Oh
prove a
shit.
point or something like that.
All right, now,
And that's what loosely this big game is based on.
all right, now he is decidedly different from the Killdozer guy
Oh
and
yeah, 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 yeah,
and the
yeah.
Sky King. You know that is hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked. It's just took out some people just he had because he had a grudge against the company, but those people had nothing to do with it basically. But if you have like 10 iterations of this game, that's just that kind of gets lost. And well, and why it's like animatronics moving around about because the souls of these kids, and because in the game story is basically that
Ah, okay.
the guy that made those robots is actually a serial killer, and everybody that he's killed as the souls that come up in those machines and try to kill their murderer, but they don't know that anybody that working there is not the murderer, so they keep killing people basically, and that's the basic premise of that game in a nutshell. But yeah, that's all I knew from like a few days ago when I watched the video on it. But
Okay, so
couldn't be bothered.
that is I like that the kids that inhabit the souls of the robots, they're still out for vengeance against anybody, just anybody,
Yeah.
you know. So they don't, they are, they're just so angry, just anybody uh that's within our, you know, within reach, we killing, you know.
Because
Uh,
they
what,
think it's still their killer in a nutshell. But oh well.
were you a
It's
fan
a
of?
franchise. So.
Yeah, did we ever talk about any of the adult swim stuff like Aqua Teen, Hunger Force, and Squidbillies and that kind of stuff?
Don't think so.
Ah, okay. I don't know if you're familiar with them even. There might be a little niche, you know. Um, uh,
Amoebas?
one of them was Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and one was Squidbillies. But yeah, there might be a little
Mm,
too. But some, I
mm,
mean, like just the story of that whole crazy thing kind of remind me of some of the stuff that used to happen in Aqua Teen Hunger Force, just daily, just like weird stuff. And
mm.
their neighbor would still remain there, right? Like demons and monsters and stuff would be next door every day. And this guy would just
Ah.
he would just be coming over, you know. And almost every
Mm,
episode he would be killed and stuff. That was nice. But he
mm.
still continued to live next door, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah, 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 yeah.
oh, you guys look at South Park, you still look at that
Still looking at what?
South Park. I don't know
South
if you,
Park? No, 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 no. It's just I see bits on YouTube sometimes, but that's about it for that
okay.
show. Same with the
Yeah,
Simpsons, for instance.
that I don't know, kind of not as good. I think Koma is a
Uh,
big fan of that of Simpsons too.
it run its course. It's just a bit too many times.
Hmm.
I mean, I
Uh,
know from Marge Simpsons in the show that that her voice now is just kind of giving out after like 30 plus years doing that voice. It's really difficult to get that voice going. I know that. So yeah,
yeah,
obviously, I mean they're gonna run out of jokes and it's gonna become
yeah. I'm not sure what they'll do. They already. I think some of the voices already kind of being swapped out. Somebody uh I don't think they even I don't think they have Apu anymore. You know.
mm,
Um. Yeah, it's really a shadow of his former self. I mean, the
mm,
first few seasons were like it, the best TV has ever gotten. It's never really
yeah,
reached
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
level. You
Yeah, the
know.
intros. Yeah, I mean, I remember one intro by an YouTuber that made him, or like an animator on YouTube that made him. Those were pretty interesting. I don't remember the name. It was pretty experimental, like
Oh,
far in the future.
not Don Hertzfeldt. He made a experimental intro. You're talking about
Mm.
the unique intro every time, right? Or the
Yeah, the intro is like there's like an intro that's like so far into the future that's like all the Simpsons just look like weird aliens. It's just everything is gone digital basically. It's just basically a netzer. Basically, I mean, basically everybody's gone to the netzer in some shape or form. It's just like
yeah. That's
yeah,
I know
I don't
uh,
remember what
that
was it.
that animator. I think is Don Hertzfeldt. He does some
Mm.
yeah. I think that's it there that I sent
Mm,
in the
mm,
Discord.
mm,
Yeah.
mm. Oh, well. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Mm,
But I think we are. we probably over the 2 hours.
Yes.
Yeah, at this point, kind of. I mean, mean what about the anime, but whatever. It's like probably have to edit it out later on to where we start about that. So that's gonna be lost forever. But whatever. I mean, it was not that much interesting. I mean,
Yeah,
I still showed.
it was only a couple of minutes, unfortunately for us.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's not completely lost. So
Well, it's a
Thanks
good thing
to
I had the
Qbhall.
stream up because if I didn't have the stream up, we would have been talking, not knowing it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
recorded.
yeah. We
yeah,
were.
you kind of saved it. Yeah, or else we'd just be talking
Thank
forever
you.
and
I
just
mean,
had
none
no
of us
clue.
had the stream open, I think, right?
Yeah, we still were
Beyond
talking.
Qbhall,
We're
beyond
just
Qbhall.
down, and I just had no clue. We're still
Yeah, yeah, of course. So
talking
it's better if we pay attention to this.
and stuff like that. So I
Yeah,
guess no streaming anime anymore. Or anything that's copyrighted on YouTube. Just no YouTube videos anymore. Just images is good enough, I
yeah,
guess.
whether
Well,
it
that,
is video or audio, but it's weird because I mean, you were watching it on YouTube, but it's like uh, something that shouldn't be on YouTube, right? Technically.
No, no, no. Maybe they got permission to do that, or sometimes the boss just skip you for some reason. That also sometimes happens, or they don't have copyrights, or nobody has the copyright for something, so they don't bother with it. So they just have luck. But
And
with
yet
streams of
we
something
were
live, I guess
busted.
they get
man,
easier on that. I don't know. I'm not really
it's,
sure about that, but
it's been
I
up
mean,
for it's been up for 4 years. So, and
yeah,
it has like 350,000 views,
yeah. I don't know. Maybe they
you
have
know.
permission to it, but I don't know.
I doubt it, honestly. I don't know.
What
Maybe.
Here's what happens sometimes. Sometimes the channel itself could probably say if anybody uploads my video, even though it's not theirs,
I
check
mean, we
it's not.
can check it out later, I guess, to see if that is the case or not. But I
Yeah, I
highly
mean the video is
doubt
still
it.
up, so
I highly
yeah,
doubt it. Oh,
yeah. Just
whatever.
so I just have to edit it and see what happens. Hopefully, hopefully they don't get it off by the time I'm done with this, or else I just have nothing to add. But
Well,
yeah, we'll see.
the stream is
Let
still up,
us
though.
see.
It's still
Let
up,
us
yeah.
know.
Sure, sure, sure. Oh well, that was it for part two of episode 18, and well, subscribe, whatnot, like, subscribe, all that shit, and see you next time.
Bye
Later.
bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.